Mrs. Collins?
Yes.
My name's Frank Garner. I'm the attorney who will be acting for Mr. Collins in your divorce action.
How do you do?
I was wondering if I might have a few words with you about it.
Of course. Won't you come in and sit down?
Thank you.
Well, what was it you wanted to ask me?
Well, first of all, I was wondering who will be representing you. Lawyers dealing with lawyers make faster headway. We speak the same language.
Frankly, I haven't given it much thought.
Well, I think you'd better if you want this thing to move along quickly.
Oh, well, I do want it to. You have no idea how much.
Well,
Do we have to go through all this rigmarole? I mean, well, can't you just handle the whole thing for both of us?
well, that might be awkward.
Oh, I don't see why.
I represent the Collinses. My first allegiance would have to be to them.
Oh, yes, of course, but I don't see what that has to do with it.
Well, surely you'll want a settlement. Now, as their attorney, it's my place to see that it's kept within reason. Now, if I were to act for you, I'd have to try to get as much as possible. So you can see there'd be a conflict of interest.
Oh, no, there wouldn't. For the simple reason that I don't want any of their property. I don't want a single penny.
Oh, what would you live on?
Well, I have my own resources.
Mrs. Collins, off the record, I think I must tell you it would be extremely foolish not to ask for something.
Oh, but I am asking for something. I'm asking for the only thing that they have that I want. My son.
I'm afraid it's not as simple as that.
But why not? I want David. Roger has agreed to it. I don't see anything complicated about that.
What about the boy's interests?
Oh, he'll be taken care of. Where I plan to take him, he'll have no need for anything the Collins family could give him.
You're forgetting that David is potentially a very wealthy young man. You can't ignore a fortune that's rightfully his.
Well, would it help if I signed something guaranteeing not to touch any of his money, to keep it all in trust for him until he comes of age?
Certainly, as far as the Collins family is concerned, that would clear up all the financial problems.
Then draw it up. I'll sign it.
It means that you'll be totally responsible for the boy's care.
Mr. Garner, I assure you I am delighted with that responsibility. I want only my son.
Very well. I'll take care of the whole matter. When the time comes to go to court, I'll find somebody to stand up for you. It'll only be a formality.
I'm very grateful to you.
Mrs. Collins, there's one other matter I feel obliged to discuss with you.
Oh? Well, what is it?
It's about that woman who burned to death in the fire in your apartment in Phoenix.
Well, what about her?
The police have been asking all kinds of questions.
Oh, yes. Well, they've asked me a lot of questions, too. I've answered to the best of my ability, but, well, I don't know anything about her or how she got in my apartment. I'm really just as baffled as they are.
They've been bandying about some rather unpleasant innuendos.
Such as?
Such as murder.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, there may be an investigation, in which case you would have to go back to Phoenix to testify.
Impossible.
Oh, I'm afraid it's all too possible if the law insists. But you don't have anything to fear, unless, of course, you're hiding some information.
Of course I'm not. It's just that I've got to get everything settled here first. There's nothing the law can do to me. The only thing that can harm me is if I don't get my son.
Well, I'll do everything that I can to expedite matters.
It's very kind of you.
I'll go back to the office now and start things in motion.
Oh, Mr. Garner. If you could do everything to see that I get David as soon as possible, I'll be in your debt eternally. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mrs. Collins.